In this very quick video, I'm going to explain the psychology behind copywriting. So this video is going to be under 10 minutes, and I'm going to give you precisely what you need to learn about the psychology behind copywriting, which is the core of marketing or digital marketing in general. So let's look at the objective. So at the end of the video, you will be able to learn how to make people say yes to you. So it could be your followers, your fans, your customers, your team members, your partners or co-founders, or even your family. Because learning how to make people say yes is an art for life. So once you master this key components or key principles of copywriting and psychology, you'll be able to get a lot of buy-ins, and you'll be able to get a lot of yes from people that truly matter to move your life forward. So on sales, these are common principles that you must master. Sales is the hardest skill to master, so that is the truth. If sales was easy, then everybody in the world would be really really rich and would be living a very fulfilled life. So the reason why we have so much of resistance for people to accept the ideas or buy the products and services, it is because sales is the hardest skill to master. So, what is sales? Sales is not only about a transaction of money or economic. Sales is also about getting people to buy your idea first. So, we'll look into it in more detail. And the other principle that we must understand is that humans are wired to find shortcuts. So, if you are able to translate or articulate your idea in a way that it'll make people's lives easier, people are definitely going to say yes to you. Okay, so that is a very important principle to keep in mind. And there is this quote which says, all is well when you sell, sell, sell. So like I said, sales is not a bad term at all. Like without sales there would be no exchange of value in the world. So like I said, sales is not only about money. Sales is about getting people to agree with you, your concepts, your ideas, or even your products. So there are 7 triggers in our brain which makes us to take action. So these are the 7 triggers, uh, which you must include in your communication or your marketing, or on any of your conversations that would lead into a transaction or into a buy-in. So the first important thing is social proof. So you can display social proof in terms of reviews, testimonials, or case studies. So when you're building a landing page, especially, these 7 most important factors must be a part of your landing page or your sales page, so people can take action. Scarcity, right? So scarcity actually creates value and urgency. So you would have seen on Amazon or any other shopping websites that there is only 2 units remaining, or this deal is only valid for the next 3 hours and things like that, right? So these creates a sense of urgency, and which leads to an impulsive buying decision. So make sure that you are using these things in your conversion pages, because it creates value instantly. Countdown timers. So you would have seen the countdown timers on the web pages, which would count back to the hours and minutes that you can actually access this. So it is not only for the product sales page, but also when you have a webinar replay, or when you want to give away the ebook, you can say that this link is only valid for the next 24 hours, and you have to consume the webinar content, or you have to download the ebook before that, otherwise you're going to take it down. The reason why you can do that is because a lot of people who you know uh, download the video on their hard disk, or they postpone it because we can see it later and things like that. But when you have a scarcity created, it will force people to consume the content, otherwise it would um, not be valid anymore, right? So this is a very important point that you can actually note down. uh, Limited seats available for this program. So this could be for your course, or if you have a group coaching program, or if you have an event coming up, you can make this as relevant. And you can also keep a deadline for applications, so people will not postpone things, like I said before. Early bird offer is also something which you can use if it's relevant to you, and this is directly linked with the price anchoring feature that I'm going to explain later inside the fear of missing out. Okay. And flash sale, right? So like we have a lot of these 24 hours or weekend flash sales or Black Friday sales or Cyber Monday, or we can have one flash sale every month or every 3 months, especially for e-commerce store owners. This flash sale could be really good cash flow generator. Most importantly is it is to be genuine. People can easily see through the BS that if you are ingenuine or if you are trying to manufacture uh, things which are not relevant, people can easily see through it. So make sure that you're not using it to manipulate people, but use this to influence people. Reciprocity is all about first giving and then taking. So you would have seen a lot of people giving away a lot of free content to build trust, in form of blogs, in form of videos, free courses, and free on-demand webinars, or even free trials. So if you have to take, if you have to influence people, you have to break the barrier of entry. So when you minimize the barriers of entry, it becomes easy for people to give you a micro commitment, to which would lead them into the next stage of your value journey, which we are going to talk about. How are we going to make use of this content in your overall marketing and sales? You can build authority by by giving away social proof. So when you have the quotes from very well known people, you can actually ride on their authority. So if you're already an authority, if you have a book in your name and things like that, it really, really helps. But even if you don't have a book, or even if you don't have a lot of videos online, you actually can create authority through writing on other people's content, if you know how to use it strategically. Commitment. So people are likely to take action on what they commit to. So your focus should be in getting them to agree with you. So get them to agree with your problem statement. So when you send out an email to your audience saying that, hey, uh, are you constantly feeling exhausted and not enough energy to go through your day, right? So for a lot of people, that would resonate with them, saying, thinking that, after having lunch, my energy level dips. So people actually pay attention to what you have to say next. So which is when you say that I have a solution for this, right? So when you say that, okay, the reason why you're feeling lethargic and drained throughout the day is because of your dietary habits. Okay, so when that solution kind of matches with their thinking, yes, that's right, because probably I'm skipping my breakfast, or I may be having lunch with a lot of carbs or things like that, people which they already know and believe, so you're actually reinforcing their statement. And then you tell them that, okay, download this free checklist to help you prepare healthier meals so that you don't feel drained and lethargic throughout the day, right? So that's a free ebook that people can download. And in that checklist, you can have things like, don't skip your breakfast, don't eat rice for lunch, or don't skip on getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night, and things like that, or take a nap. Things which are going to help them to um, uh, you know trust you more. And then at the end of the ebook or end of the free video, you can actually say that, okay, now I want to help you superpower your productivity throughout the day, so that you can get more done in 3 months than what it would take in a year, right? So when you put such a hook, right, people will be interested to know, okay, so I want to accomplish as much as I can in a year in less than 3 months. So get them to agree with a low priced offer, which could be like a video course that you can sell for a small amount of money. And once they're into the program, you can actually offer them a higher priced productivity programs, or even a software to track their daily activities, or even an online journal, things like that, which would bring you a recurring income. And then After that, you can actually invite them to your events, or you can upsell them into other people's courses and training programs and things like that. So this is how you get people to agree in form of micro commitments. So you just there is a famous quote in the movie Lord of the Rings which says, we just have to get through this we just have to get down this hill, Mr. Frodo. That's what Mr. Samwise tells Frodo, to say that, first we'll focus on getting down the hill, and then we will go towards the ring, right? So you just have to see what is in front of you immediately. You don't have to show them the entire vision immediately, because if you try to offer an upsell in the early stage of the buying cycle, then you may lose out on all these opportunities to actually engage with your audience. Liking. So people do business with people they like, admire, respect, and trust. So the shortcut to this is finding the common ground with people you want to influence. So it could be being a part of the same groups that you're a part of online, or it could be the same city or that you grew up, or it could be your passion for cricket or basketball, or whatever it is that you like. You can find common ground with people that you want to influence, so you can get them to say yes. Fear of missing out. People put more effort not to lose something than to gain something. So if you say, if you don't join my program, this is what you lose out on. So if you don't join my program, you are going to feel lethargic and drained out throughout the day. Nothing in your life will change. But how about you invest just $99 in this program, and then you get to enjoy the benefits of increased productivity, improved energy, and a lot of mental clarity, and less conflicts with your spouse, and a feeling of accomplishment. You cannot put a price tag on that feeling, can you? So things like that. And how much money are you leaving on the table? So say that if you're earning, let's say, uh, $3,000 a month right now, right? If by putting this productivity practices in place, you will be able to maximize your income to thousand and $10,000 a month, uh, and at the same time build more meaningful content, meaningful value to your audience. How would your life turn out to be, right? So when you ask questions like that in your sales copy, it would invoke emotions, which is directly related to the lizard brain, without having to reason with logic. So with that said, how are we going to implement this in our copy? Let's look at this. Content stages. So you have to understand that this is actually a part of the customer journey, that if you are to if you like someone, right, you would not just go and say that, hey, I'd like to get married to you and things like that, right? So first you would say that, hey, do you want to get some dinner tonight, right? Or do you want to grab a cup of coffee, right? And then when they're interested, you can say that, hey, how about, and after a couple of dates, you would ask, how about going on a date, right? And then you go on a date, and after that you would say, hey, I think I like you, and things like that. And then say, you would propose, right? And then you get into an engagement, and then after engagement it's marriage. So you would not just go propose to a wedding before even knowing or building trust with someone, right? So the same way, we have a top of the funnel content, middle of the funnel content, and the bottom of the funnel content, which is, in the top of the funnel, you build trust. You ask for micro commitments from people. For example, if someone reads your blog, right, that's a top of the funnel content. If someone watches the video, it's a top of the funnel content, right? So once they watch the video or read the blog, the call to action is to actually sign up for a 7-day free course. Okay, so when they that conversion, it takes you to the middle of the funnel content, which is a 7-day course on improving productivity, right? In that 7-part email series, or you can also show them ads on Facebook, because now you have the data, right? So at the bottom of the funnel, which is, you make an offer saying that, okay, if you have gained value from the 7-day course or 7-part email series, the next step is to dive deep into it. So whenever you're ready, schedule a call with us to go through how you can maximize your benefits and things like that. Or bottom of the funnel offer could be a webinar that you ask them to join, and then you make a sale at the end. So usually bottom of the funnel is where monetary conversions happen. Middle of the funnel is when you get there, or you make them opt into your offer. Top of the funnel is when you get them to consume your content. So I hope this is clear. The customer journey part of it, we need to understand the human psychology, identify their problems and needs. So this is how the journey flows. You get their attention, you inspire them, you guide them, you persuade them, and you transform them. So it is very important to understand the ida principle, which is the attention, interest, desire, action. So this is how the whole flow is. So on the top of the funnel, you are creating attention and interest, right? In the middle of the funnel, you're creating a desire to learn more. Bottom of the funnel, you are calling them to take action. So this is how the customer journey is related to the entire triggers. Copywriting tips. So use short sentences throughout possible, because when you create complex sentences, it would easily repel people from reading it. So when you use short sentences and you use line breaks, you don't use paragraphs, but then make sure that one paragraph contains only one or two sentences in it. Focus on the benefits, not features. So a lot of people are so attached to the features of their products that they lose track of the benefit of what it offers. So talk about the benefits of what the feature would give rise to. For example, if you have a time tracking module on your system, instead of saying time tracker, you can actually focus on the benefits, which is by using the time tracking feature, you will be able to understand where you are spending most of your time on, and you can figure if it's unproductive or productive, or if you are able to stay on track or if you're going off track. So focus on the benefits of increased time. Like, you as a result of using this time tracking feature or module, you will be able to save 10 hours every single week, right? So that is a benefit. So saving 10 hours, which you can actually use on productive activities, and weeding out the non-productive activities, is a benefit. But the feature is a time tracking system. So make an offer that they cannot refuse. So this is about making an irresistible offer. So like I said, at the end of you need to have offers at every stage of this buying cycle. So the offer in terms of the blog post could be, learn how uh, to cut down 10 hours of your how to save 10 hours every week. So that's an offer that you can put in front of people in the blog. And at the end of the blog, say that take a 7-day free trial to this productivity suite. So 7-day free trial is also an irresistible offer, as long as you're packaging it with other things which maybe adding more value to it. So which takes me to this thing, is packaging the offers in the right way. So instead of just offering a 7-day free trial to your tool, you also can give them a free checklist on how to use this tool from day one. Because for using every tool, it takes up a learning curve. So when you actually show them that you have a checklist that you can actually put to use immediately, so that you can start using this tool from day one, that makes the stickiness of that product higher. Using price anchoring is another feature. So at the end of the 7-day free trial, you can give them two options to choose from, which is a light version and the pro version. So if you have a time tracking light and time tracking pro, where the light costs about $7 a month, and the pro version costs $9.97 a month. So the difference between $7 and $10 is only kind of very, very low. But still, when you anchor your price, you're actually giving people an option to choose from too, instead of an option from just upgrading or not upgrading, which is what the is a tipping scale, right? So when you actually give an option to choose from, give your audience an option to choose from, buying from two options instead of whether to buy from you or not. So that is very, very important here. So use a hook that gets people's attention. So for example, get a spanking new high converting website in less than 7 days without having to go through project management or a lot of wasted time and resources. So, or in this particular thing, the hook could be how you can get a year's worth of productivity done in less than 3 months. So get done in 90 days what would take normally a year to accomplish. So that is a very powerful hook to get people's attention. So I hope that you found this the psychology and the triggers and the copywriting principles and the concepts from this training, very quick training, and let me know what you think. Thank you.